Mixtapes and DVDs is my era.
Facts.
We did it better.
Yep.
Pelly leathers,
Facts.
ACG boots. We 80s babies and early 90s when it got grimy. I was out of this world, you could not find me unless you check the lobby. Hustling was my hobby. We was lobby boys before Jim Jones. You could catch me at Harlem eating Jimbos. DVD Era TV back at y'all with another one. Y'all know the slogan. Let's get straight into this one. Now in the DVD era, Jim Jones will introduce the underground hip-hop scene to his group and record label Byrdgang, which had main focus on artists such as Stack Bundles, who came over from DJ Clue's Desert Storm, his longtime friend Mel Murder, aka Mel Matrix, and Max B, who was featured on previous songs of Jim already like G's Up. Now these four would eventually put out M.O.B., members of Byrdgang mixtape, and put out a lot of good music together, from songs like Life's Like a Movie, Thicker Than Brothers, and Refreshing, just to name a few. But sadly, this wouldn't last for long, with Stack Bundles being gunned down in Far Rockaway, Queens, Mel Murder having one foot in the rap game and the other in the streets, and Max B and Jim Jones will have beef, which could be considered one of the biggest feuds in the underground hip-hop scene of all time. Now, after Max B signed to Jim Jones and Byrdgang and generated some success, Max B will be arrested not too long after. Now, in 2006, Max B, along with his stepbrother Calvin Lanham and ex-girlfriend Gina Conway, was arrested for a botched robbery that left one man dead. Now, supposedly, after Gina Conway told Max B about two men she met from Florida who was staying at a Holiday Inn hotel in New Jersey who had a bag containing about $30,000 in cash, Max B would send his brother to the hotel room to ambush the two. Now, supposedly, Max B's stepbrother and ex-girlfriend would go to the Target hotel room in the Holiday Inn, and Max B ex would try to use the key that he gave her earlier that day, but it didn't work, so they had to knock on the door. Now, a woman who was with the intended target would answer the hotel door and tell her two that the target would sleep, but Max B ex and his stepbrother would still force their way in the room. Now, once they got in the room, they would tie up the intended target and the woman that was with him in the room. Now, the target would let them know that the money's in another room with his friend, so Max B's stepbrother made him call his friend to come to the room. Now, as the target friend got to the room, Max B's stepbrother will put the gun to his head. The friend will reach for the gun and ended up getting shot point blank in his head. Now, the man that would be killed would be David Taylor. Now, this obviously was a botched robbery, and Max B and his crew never got the $30,000. Now, Max B, his ex-girlfriend, and stepbrother will all three be arrested for this murder and robbery, but his ex-girlfriend will cooperate and tell the court that Max B was the mastermind behind this whole robbery in return for only 15 years in prison. Now, Max B would eventually come home in 2007 on a $2 million bail, but Max B will end up going to trial and ended up losing. And in 2009, Max B was sentenced to 75 years in prison for armed robbery, kidnapping, and aggravated assault and murder. But in 2016, he would get his 75 years reduced down to 20 years from winning his appeal. Now, I know y'all been hearing Max B supposed to be coming home for years and even got his 20 years reduced down to 12 years, but he's been locked up for 15 years. But on the New Jersey prison site, it says he's eligible for parole November 2025. Now, even though Max B's been gifted with some success, it still feels like he's been cursed after Byrdgang.
Here with the whole fucking riot squad, man. Y'all see my nigga here, man.
Now, Stack Bundles was a rapper from Far Rockaway in Queens. Stack Bundles was 1/4 for RRS, the Rockaway Riot Squad, along with Chinks Drugs, Bino, and Core 2Gs. Stacks would break into the underground hip-hop scene in the early 2000s. After Stack Bundles connected with DJ Clue, he would appear on numerous DJ Clue mixtapes and begin to rep Desert Storm along with Fabulous, Paul Kane, Joe Button, and the A-Team. Stacks would do a number of freestyles and songs with his Desert Storm label mates and also appear on DJs like DJ Envy, Cutmaster C, and Superstar J, and the list goes on. Stacks would even get exposure on Hot 97 on DJ Clue Monday Night Mixtapes and even got a chance to freestyle at Funk Flex on Hot 97. Stacks will also get a chance to display his talent in the DVD era on DVDs like Smack, The Come Up, Real Talk DVD, and Hood Affairs, just to name a few. Bundles would eventually separate from DJ Clue and Desert Storm in the mid-2000s and sign with Jim Jones' Byrdgang. Stack Bundles along with Jim Jones, Max B, and Mel Matrix will record a lot of music together and eventually will put out M.O.B., members of the Byrdgang mixtape. Now around this time, Stacks will be featured on records like You Dig with Jim Jones and The Weatherman, which featured Lil Wayne. But with all the success the Promise and Star was getting at the time, that'll all come to an end, because sadly on June 11th, 2007, Stack Bundles would be killed in his hometown at the age of 24 years old. Now Stack Bundles was shot and killed in the lobby of his building in Redfern Houses in Far Rockaway, Queens. Now around 5 a.m., Stax will be returning home after a night of partying at Club Stereo nightclub, and Stax was approached in his lobby, and he ended up getting shot in his neck and his head, and he was pronounced dead on the scene. Now, Stack Bundles definitely had a promising career. He had the charisma, he had the look, he had the swag, he had the lyrics. He definitely was a star. And maybe if he got a chance to get out the hood, he'll still be alive. Rest in peace, Stax. Now, the underground hip-hop world was introduced to Mel Murder, a.k.a. Mel Matrix, in the DVD era by Jim Jones. Melly would get his big break on the Byrdgang M.O.B. members of Byrdgang mixtape. Growing up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, Mel Murder would be well known and documented as one of the few rappers to really live what he rap about. From gangbanging and going in and out of the prison system and living a life of crime.
You know how it be, I got like 1 foot in the game and 1 foot out the game. So a lot of the situations, it be kind of sticky for me to play with them cameras.
Could I ask if you've ever been in jail? Long time?
Going back and forth since June that.
Now in 2018, Mel Murder would be caught up in the whole Treyway indictment with Tekashi 6ix9ine, and in 2019, Mel Murder was sentenced to 11 years in prison for his role in the Treyway indictment as the godfather of the 9 Trey Bloods.